Welcome to Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Stevie Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D. And today, we talk the nominees for the 2021 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
All right, we're back. Another episode, Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 21, Blackjack. And on this one, we're talking about the recent Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees. I think a lot of people get confused. You know, they see the list and they think these people are all automatically in. Like I see a lot of people, oh my God, that's awesome. You know, so-and-so is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No, man, they're just nominated. And then there's like this whole, you know, they send the ballots out to the voters. There's like 1,000 voters. Which is it basically includes the people that are in the Hall of Fame, like Bon Jovi's in the Hall of Fame. So each member who was inducted, they could vote, you know, along with like some, you know, journalists and stuff like that. So there's like over 1,000 people that vote on this, you know. So it's like, you know, it takes I think they give them like 2 or 3 months to mail their ballots in, and then they tally them up, and then they pick the 5, you know. So a lot of people there's a lot of things that are really like that aren't clear.
They tally them up. I think they play with the tallywhackers,
dude. But the whole thing, how they come up with the 16, you know, where do they get these 16 people from? The nominees. Well, there's like a panel, like 25, 30 people that are on this panel, and they get together for like a couple of weeks to have meetings or whatever, and like each person, they you know, they lobby for one artist, like, oh yeah, you know, we really need Mary J. Blige and, you know, in there because of this and that. They argue over, and then they come up with the 16, you know. So that's how they get the original 16 that people vote on, you know. But it's all, I mean, the whole thing is it's all screwed up. I mean,
well, just like any sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but you know what though? For at least sports like baseball, you know, minus the steroids. At one point, you knew you had 500 home runs automatically in.
Right.
You have,
exactly.
You have a lifetime 300 batting average. You're in. Like, you know.
But if you're the all-time home run leader, you're not.
Now it's different. Yeah, because of the steroid shit. But
right.
Under normal circumstances, you know. But you know, music. It's all opinion, really. I mean, and they have like different like. It doesn't matter if you saw like millions of records. I mean, they look at that. They look at
weird, yeah.
Influence,
well, I think that should have an impact on it. Absolutely.
Oh, it does. I think so. Yeah.
I think they should kind of make it into. Look, it should be called the Music Hall of Fame and not the Rock and Roll Hall.
Yeah.
And it should be maybe broken down to categories where every year, you know, one R&B, one hard rock metal, one pop, one whatever.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, that's the way to go. That's what they should really do. I mean,
and then you have your subcategories. If you know, like you know, if it's like kind of alternative, could be mopped in with something else, or, you know, like, you know, so there's not a billion categories, but if you're going to put, say, 5 bands in or 5 artists, go from 5 categories and put one from each category so it's fair. You know,
yeah, they should do that. You know,
that works.
At this point, like, you know, you see like hip hop artists up there. I don't even care anymore because it's too late. They're already in. It's like, okay, they're in.
It doesn't
like,
matter. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they should have been in the first place. But
I agree.
If LL Cool J is on there, you know what? If Run DMC and a few others are in, man, I think he should be in. You know,
well, I mean, there is different. I mean, Run DMC. I mean, yeah, they were hip hop rap. They had sort of like more of a rock approach to things. You know,
yeah, they had a crossover. Yeah,
right. So I mean, I'm a little more saying, hey, yeah, you could throw Run DMC, and even LL Cool J was kind of groundbreaking, but he kind of had some hard stuff that was, you know.
But it should be called the Music Hall of Fame.
Right. It should be called the Music Hall of Fame and not the Rock.
Yeah. It should. I mean,
or just leave it the Rock Hall of Fame. It's just.
How come Garth Brooks isn't in it and country guys? I mean, to me, they have more of a rock.
I don't even think, I'm not sure, but I don't think Dolly Parton's in it. How could she not be in it, right?
Yeah, she's a song, you know, she should
songwriter, at least for
she's a songwriter.
Whitney Houston's in. She wrote Whitney Houston's biggest hit, probably, right?
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
And it's funny, you know what? Like once you like let Whitney Houston in. Who do you see this year? Now you see Dionne Warwick. It's like, okay, well, if Whitney Houston's in, you're putting Dionne Warwick on the ballot. You know what? Barbara Streisand should be in too. It's like it's the same.
She's
it's
not
like,
in. Wow.
No, but dude, it's like soft rock. I mean, it's not even soft rock. It's like
really.
easy listening. It's like,
do you cry over Barbara Streisand not being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Well, you know what?
Save your energy on that one.
But you know what? If they got Whitney Houston in and they put Dionne Warwick, the Psychic Friends Network.
Yeah,
that's what I know it from.
How about the Barry Manilows?
I'm going to be fishing anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Is the Barry Manilow's in there?
Yeah,
no, don't put him.
He's next, and Bette Midler and
the Middler.
Yeah, it's
Middler
like,
and the Middler.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I think they should, if it's 5
Music
people,
Hall of Fame,
they should put it in categories: one R&B artist, one hip hop, one metal, one hard rock, and one classic rock or something. You know, just
like how the hell it took Deep Purple and Kiss to get in like forever. It's ridiculous.
I'm not even a Kiss fan, and I find that just absurd.
You're becoming a Kiss fan.
Yeah. But you know what? Like when we go down this list, I mean, there's people I don't even listen to, but I think they should be in. You know, some of these people I don't even like. They should be in.
Absolutely. With that being said, let's move on to our first nominee, Mary J. Blige. What you got, Damo?
I don't know, man. I don't think she should be in. I mean, and aside from the She's Not Rock thing, I don't know. I could think of a lot of other R&B singers that are more deserving, you know, that should be in. I mean, I don't know. Is she that influential? I don't know. It's not. I don't come from that world. So.
Yeah, the same with me. Yeah. I mean, I know the name, and I've heard that name for a very long time, and that name seemed prominent for a long time. But I couldn't tell you one song that she did.
Right.
I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm going to say she should belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, she's
and not based. I mean, she might have great music. She might have sold a lot of albums, but let's just go. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
we should. If it's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, let's put the rock artists in there first that deserve it. Then branch out. But
it's just weird, man. Like, to me, there's nothing. I don't know.
I'm sticking to my guns on this. I'm going to complain about everything that's not rock and roll, even if it is country, because country doesn't even belong in there either.
No. I mean,
no. It's weird. Yeah. I'm looking at I didn't know much about. I know the name. I didn't know much about her. I looked her up, and I mean, she's got some credibility. I mean, 80 million albums sold worldwide. That's pretty good. You know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it's not like she hasn't done anything. She's had a lot of hits. I mean, I kind of feel like, look, if you got some hip hop groups in there, I'd rather see another hip hop group than like Mary J. Blige and Dionne Warwick and R&B. Like they're even farther away. Like at least the rappers they have like the rock and roll attitude. Like
they live that rock star kind of life.
They do now. I mean,
right. So
it's weird.
Yeah. So to me, it makes more sense.
I have this conversation with my dad every once in a while, and he's a huge. I don't know if you know this guy's name if I tell you, but he's a huge Johnny Maestro fan. That's like his favorite.
Oh yeah.
It's like, how's Johnny Maestro not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? He's with the Crest, like Earth Angel.
Why does it sound like a Seinfeld character?
Johnny Maestro. My dad's a huge Johnny Maestro fan, and he wrote a lot of songs. And he passed away a couple years ago. And he was a, big singer, man, at one time. But you don't even hear his name get mentioned. No.
And you know what? And those guys influenced like the Beatles and the Stones and all the British invasion bands.
Yeah.
But
here's the thing, though.
Stuff and all.
And I mean, maybe you could sum it up to this, though. But here's the thing: you got to remember, with sports, you can always go back and look at stats and stuff like that.
Right.
But as generations go along with music, that style of music kind of gets lost, and those artists that were once big and popular that kind of got shied away from the Hall of Fame that they should have been on already kind of gets further away generation wise. If you look at influence, like you really gotta so maybe if you really gotta like dig maybe he influenced the Stones who influenced so and so and
right.
Like I don't think you're gonna see somebody who who's like in their 20s who's a singer. Oh yeah, I'm really into doo-wop, man. Like Johnny Maestro and
right.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. But for me, I'm going to say Mary J. Blige. Too soon. There's other artists that should go in before. Damo, what you got?
Yeah, it's an absolute no for me. I mean,
Mikey?
absolute.
Yeah, no.
All right, so for our opinion, we're passing on Mary J. Blige. Moving on to the next one, Damo. Kate Bush, what you got?
I don't know. I don't want to be ignorant, but I don't really know anything about her. I mean, I've heard her name a lot, and I know she is, pretty big influential artist. So, I can't really say anything. It's like a question mark. I don't know what she's done, but yeah, but it's if anything, it's probably leaning more towards yes than no, because I know she's done a lot. I hear her name a lot, and as far as like people citing her as an influence and stuff,
she's been around for a long time. How about you, Mike?
Yeah.
Anything on Kate Bush?
I mean, I think I might have only heard a couple songs of her, and I can't really even name them. But I mean, I have heard the name around, and I know she's like Damien said, a big influence on a lot of artists and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, is she really rock and roll, and does she really deserve to go in there this year? I'm going to have to say no.
Yeah, for me, Kate Bush, I mean, she had a couple top 40 singles in the UK. The name's been around forever, but yeah, for me, for Kate Bush, it's a pass. I think there's other deserving artists that should go before.
Here's my deal too, because I'm not going to go and like if it gets down to I only pick 2 artists. I'm not picking people just for the sake of putting them in.
Right.
So if we end this show with I pick one artist that belongs in there, that's my one artist that belongs.
Whatever,
so,
yeah, whatever you pick.
Yeah.
All right, Damo, how about Devo?
Yeah, I mean, originally it was like, I don't really care, but reading about them, I think they do belong. I mean, they had a part in history. They were actually, I mean, yeah, they had a big hit.
One big
we all
hit,
know,
yeah.
But, but they had other, it's like it's like asking a casual person down the street, music fan, hey, name a Kiss song. They're going to say Rock and Roll All Night, but we know like a million others. That's like them. But they're really influential and everything with like, the alternative scene and kind of like electronic stuff.
New wave.
Yeah. They were like late 70s. They kind of came, like one of the first bands doing that. So I would definitely say yeah.
Were they a CBGB band?
I don't know.
I think they were. I had to look into that.
I only know with Devo, I know the Hats and the Whippet song.
Right.
I mean, I knew they were an influence, but I didn't think they were that much of an influence. I'm gonna pass on Devo. Mike,
they were a CBGB band, yeah.
They were.
They did play there. Yeah.
Mike D, what do you think of Devo?
Like Damien said, I mean, I've heard some Devo. I tried to get into them. I tried to listen to a few things. Not really my cup of tea. I'm not going to say they're horrible, but I don't know. I mean, there's just so many more deserving bands to go in than Devo.
Yeah. And
I think maybe eventually, but right now I think, hold off on the Devo. Nah.
Damo, what you think about Devo going in?
Yeah, I say
You'd put
I got
them
a for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's and I'll get to, when we get to the part of our list of who we think should be in, I could think of somebody better in Devo in that kind of same area.
Yeah.
But let's move on to this one, which I think is a little way too soon. Foo Fighters, Damo, what you got?
No, absolute no. I'm so sick of them. They're like, dude, it's like there's no other rock bands on the face of the earth. It's like Foo Fighters. Do you need a guy? Do you need a token rock guy to appear in a commercial or to make a speech about something? Let's call Dave Grohl up. The typical mom and dad or soccer moms or whatever who don't like, hard rock music. They like the Foo Fighters. It's like, I'm so sick of like, there's like so many other, that's like one of the reasons why like rock is like dead, because they keep on shoving the one band down your throat. Like, why not like spread it out a little bit, And look, I don't hate Dave Grohl. I don't hate the band. I saw them live. I think they're great.
Yeah.
I'm just so freaking sick of them. So they don't deserve to be in like the first year. And the other thing is Dave Grohl is on the panel. He's like one of the guys that picks the band. And I don't think he went up and said, hey, I think my band should be
probably
in
not. He probably wouldn't
but,
do that.
through the years, if you see other like metal bands. I mean, he probably lobbied to get Maiden on the list this year. I could see him doing that because he's into that stuff. But nah, I don't think they should be on.
Mike
now.
That's a tough one. I mean, again, there's so many bands that should go in there before the Foo Fighters, and I'm on the fence with the Foo Fighters. I like some of their stuff. Other things of theirs, it's just like, to me, a lot of their stuff sounds like credit music at the end of a movie.
Music, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people love the Foo Fighters. They sell a lot of albums. They sell out concerts. So do they deserve to belong in there? Yeah, I say yeah. But as of right now, they still got a career going on. They could afford not to be in there right now. It's not going to break him. He's still got some years in there to perform and even have another acceptance speech. So this year, I'm going to say no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a pass for me too. I like the Foo Fighters, but Nirvana just went in a couple years ago. The Foo Fighters really need to be going in already. Nirvana went in for, I guess, they were an influence. They kind of changed the scene a little bit. I thought they went in a little too soon, personally.
And you know what? I think
I'm not going to argue it, and I don't like them at all. But I'm okay with them being in when they were.
Yeah.
Let me ask you though. They put bands on. And what merit, though? Shouldn't you have to have a certain amount of albums? And to me, it's like so many bands are in there. Like, I guess I'm jumping the gun on this one because we're going to get to it. But like Rage Against the Machine only has like 4 albums out. So it's like
it was such a big impact with what they put out at the time.
I guess.
Yeah.
Especially Nirvana. They kind of changed the whole.
They did.
They did.
Right. You can't deny that. But to me, it seems like they need some kind of quote on how much you put out. Like in baseball, you have to play for 10 years, So,
I don't think it should be how much you put out. I think it should be the longevity of your music. It shouldn't be that, Nirvana only put out 2 albums, but it's the long Appetite for Guns N' Roses didn't put out a lot of albums.
No.
The longevity of that record had an impact.
Yeah,
I almost believe that they don't belong in there.
Nah, you're out of your fucking mind.
I just don't think they have enough. I just don't think they put out enough.
Certain bands like the Sex Pistols only do 1 record.
Exactly.
They change the course of music, just like
they did.
Nirvana and Guns N' Roses did, So sometimes you got to overlook it, I know
it's tough. I know it's really tough, and I was just going to get to the Sex Pistols with their 1 album in there, but I guess it would be like say there was like some mythical baseball player. He hit like 100 home runs and 200 RBIs and batted like 400. He only played like 3 seasons.
He should go in.
Like, right. Well, I guess he should put it on, but how you do it, you don't. But that's what I mean. There's not enough guidelines on how these people get in. It's just like, oh yeah, I like this band. Boom, they're in.
I think longevity should play a part into
it. It is. Impact, influence. That's
impact, influence, longevity. Are they still relevant? Like, Zeppelin, The Doors, stuff like that, Pink Floyd. It doesn't, when we're gone, when we're dead and gone, they're still going to be relevant somehow. It just,
Yeah, I think there's certain bands that will still be relevant.
And Nirvana was, we were probably, not teenagers at the time. So Nirvana kind of hit right as we were getting over that kind of mainstream kind of thing.
No, I was still in school.
Were you?
Oh yeah, I was. I believe I was a senior.
But they had an impact. There's no denying it. They had an impact. So yeah, they deserve to be in. I thought they went in. They shouldn't went in before Kiss, or Deep Purple. But yeah, they had an impact, and yeah, they deserve to be in there. Dave Grohl with the Foo Fighters, great band, solid band. They could wait another 8 years.
Yeah, I agree.
They deserve to be in eventually, but not right now. Not right now. Okay, moving on. Damo the Go-Go's.
Yeah, I think they should be in. They're a groundbreaking band. They're all female band. They played all their own instruments. They wrote their songs. They had huge hits. Yeah. They influenced a generation of girls to pick up instruments. Yeah, they should definitely be in. Yeah,
absolutely. Mike, what do you think about the Go-Go's?
Yeah, and I'm going to break my 4, because they only had 4 or 5 albums out, I believe. So
about 4.
But dude, they were really groundbreaking. Just on the fact that they were the first girl group to write and play their own music.
Yep.
So yeah, they do have a whole lot of merit. So
I'm going
All
to
right.
agree. I'm going to agree.
I'll break my rule.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with both of you. Go-Go's groundbreaking, absolutely. And they started off as a punk band that slowly went into the pop world,
Yeah.
So they paid their dues. I know that documentary, we talked about it a couple
I haven't
episodes
seen that
ago.
yet. I gotta
That was
watch
pretty
it.
good.
So good, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta
So
watch
good.
it.
But groundbreaking. They absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to a big one for I think all three of us. Damo, Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that because I think Judas Priest should be in because it's always like Priest and Maiden, but Priest was like a few years before Maiden even existed. So, but hey, man, like they were on the ballot, a couple times past, and like within the past 5 years, they were on twice. They didn't get it.
God forbid them both be on the same ballot.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Right.
they equally both deserve it. So
yeah, they do. So that's 100%. I mean, they're still relevant. They still have a young fan base. I saw them when I saw them like a year and a half ago. It was still kids. I mean, what band? That's it's unheard of. I mean, they play soccer stadiums all around the world. I mean,
they are the biggest band in the world.
Absolutely.
Biggest band in the whole wide world, not just America, the whole wide,
including everything.
Yeah.
I don't have any numbers in front of me, but god damn, they must have sold a hell of a lot of merchandise, man.
Oh my god, yeah.
I mean,
they got to be. I would even go and say that they probably sell more merch than Kiss. I will go on records and
if
say
not
that.
close to it.
Yeah, if not, then
maybe less
close
licensing stuff.
Kiss has
Quite
more
not much,
merchandise.
but Kiss has more licensed probably products.
Yeah.
But as far as T-shirts go, everybody wants a picture of Eddie.
Yeah.
And that's without using their faces, which is even crazier.
Right. Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, look what that band did, man. And they sold like so many albums, and they didn't get played in the MTV rotation except for Headbangers Ball. They didn't get played on the radio. I mean, so all that was just on, their first of all, their album covers. Yeah. That I think kind of, and then word of mouth. But then backing it up, man, they were all just awesome musicians.
Yeah.
So Damo,
musicians. I'm sorry.
Damo, you're a yes for Maiden.
Oh yeah.
Mike D.
Absolutely, man. It's just way overdue. Way overdue.
I agree.
And if they don't get in this, there's just something wrong if they don't get in this year. It's just.
I agree. Biggest band worldwide, and I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to hear Bruce talk once they get in. It'll be great.
if they show up, I could actually see them not showing up.
Yeah,
because they said that they don't care about it. Like they give a rat's ass about.
It's a disgrace if they got overlooked.
Right. I mean, a lot of bands are getting bitter over this.
This is the first time they're on the ballot. I can't even talk. This is the first time they're on the ballot, I think, too.
It is, right? Yeah.
How's that even possible?
How?
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, the whole system's whacked, man.
It's ridiculous.
I'm going to say, like, my mother might not be able to name an Iron Maiden song, but she knows the band by that Eddie's, character.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she just by me, like, wearing shirts and stuff like that. Like, my mother would know who Iron Maiden is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're sort of a household name.
Yeah. I mean, they've been around fucking since the late 70s. Come on. I mean, first album came out in 80, but they're around since the 70s.
Listen, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, do the right thing. Put them in.
Put them in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Moving on to a head scratcher. Now, I know he's an entrepreneur, and I know that, he's influenced a lot of people, maybe business-wise. Jay-Z.
Yeah. Well, you said it right there. I mean, Business Hall of Fame, yeah, well, 1,000%. But I don't know. I think most people see him that way. I don't know if people see him as like a hip hop guy is his number one thing. I think he's like a business guy.
It's an entrepreneur.
I don't know, man. I mean,
more.
Yeah. I mean, I know that the one song is hit, and he does a lot in the music industry. Like, as far as like he. Good or bad, we know our feelings on it, but like he picks all the bands for the halftime shows in the Super Bowl. So he's to blame for that.
Yeah.
And shit like that. But I don't know, man. Yeah. You're going to put Jay-Z in, LL Cool J's not in. It's like,
That makes sense.
Nah.
Wait, I thought LL wasn't.
No, he's not. He's on the ballot this year.
No.
He's on the ballot.
He's been on ballot a few times. I
Yes.
believe.
He's been on a lot. Yeah.
I could have sworn he got in. Maybe it's another Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, man. I think they're putting Jay-Z in for the name. I mean, Eminem probably sold more records than Jay-Z is my guess. I don't know for a fact. But
Yeah. I mean, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
but even that would be soon.
How many
Yeah.
years do you have to be around? What's the total?
It's
25?
25. Yeah, 25 years after your first record. So you have to put
So
out
wait,
like
now when was Jay-Z's first record?
98.
Well, is that 25 years?
that had to be before that. It might have been 96 or 95.
He has
So
9
somebody
records
get the right.
out, so.
Yeah, somebody get the right on this because that sounds like 23 to me.
Nah, it's definitely it was wait,
We're not talking
I thi-
street records here.
I mean
No
it's-
demos.
Yeah. It's got to be 25. It's 96. Yeah, so
96.
it's 25
Okay.
on the nose.
Okay,
was off.
but I'm still going to say no.
Yeah.
I'm still going to say no.
Entrepreneur,
Right,
influence,
it's an
yeah, but
right.
not.
I mean, I even like Big Pimpin'. I thought that's probably the only song I really like of his.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, let's stick to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. God damn it!
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's just I don't get it.
I don't even. You know what? And the thing is, I don't even have a problem with like artists like Michael Jackson being because
No, I don't
Michael
either.
Jackson, like they say, King of Pop and all this. But Michael
He was a
Jackson
crossover.
He was a crossover, and Michael Jackson had a lot of rock mentality in his songs
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, but no, not Jay-Z. No.
I mean,
Sorry.
Michael Jackson was big for many years. It wasn't like he was just big for 2 years, 3 years. He was big from the Jackson 5, which is probably the late 60s, early 70s, something like that, maybe the 70s. 70s all the way till he passed away. He was still a big name. So I get why they put him in. Like how they put Madonna. I get why Madonna was in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It wasn't for her
I don't
singing.
Right. I don't argue that either. I mean,
You know,
I'll argue Madonna too.
it wasn't for her singing. It was for her influence and longevity.
yeah.
It's more of an icon than a,
Right.
you know, it's weird. Moving on to somebody I think that's been on the ballot a shitload of times. She's been around from 70. She's been putting out albums since 78 to 2019. Chaka Khan.
Yeah, dude, you're right. It seems like every year she's on it. She's like on the ballot. Like,
Yeah.
like man, who the fuck is like?
What's
What's she doing that somebody lobbies for her every year?
I know Chaka Khan. Let me rock you, Chaka Khan. That's all I know. Chaka Khan, let me rock you, Chaka Khan. That's all I know.
She was,
Yeah.
she was. Well, she was like an R&B kind of funk disco, in the 70s, and then R&B in the 80s and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I know she's influential with like Whitney Houston and shit like that. And but no, man, no.
Every year she's on the ballot. It seems like
I know.
every year. She's like, who's that actress, the soap opera actress that was
Susan
nominated?
Lucci.
Yeah,
Susan
she's like
Lucci,
Susan
yeah.
Lucci.
Well, yeah, LL Cool J. We'll get to him. Same
Yeah,
thing.
he's a
Every
Susan
freaking
Lucci
year.
too.
Yeah.
Every year you're on the ballot. I don't really get it. My vote for Chaka Khan is a no. Damo.
No. Nope.
Mike D.
No.
Shaka, no. Here, this was an eye-opener here because I didn't know she was in yet. The next one, we're going to go to Damo first. Carole King.
Well, the first thing you say is, how is she not in? But
Right.
she is in as a songwriter.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
didn't
like,
know.
okay, this is like friggin' stupid. Okay, she's in as a songwriter, but she's also like a big performer. But she's not in as a performer. It's like they're fucking dumb, man.
Why can't
like,
why can't you do songwriter / artist or whatever the fuck?
right? Yeah.
Well,
no,
aren't
just-
we all songwriter / artist?
Just
Well,
revise how you put
you
it
know-
in there. Just
you know,
revise it.
like I'm drawing a blank. The guy who writes songs with Elton John.
Bernie.
Bernie Taupin.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Was it Bernie
so now
Taupin? Yeah.
I get
Yeah,
that. He
Bernie.
was the lyricist guy. He didn't play no music.
Right.
I get
he's
that.
a songwriter. He's not a performer. Few others. Desmond Child. There's
Right.
a very few. But
Is
come
Desmond Child even in?
on. No.
How the fuck's he not in? For
He should-
songwriting?
They should put him in.
Absolutely. He wrote, look at You Give Love a Bad Name. He wrote a ton of shit.
So he should get in as a songwriter. But Carole King,
Absolutely.
no, man, no.
I mean, should
She's
Carole
already
King
in.
be in? Yes,
It's a
but she's
waste-
already in.
Yeah, it's a waste of a spot.
It is. And just go and revise the title, songwriter, artist. End of the day, everybody's happy there.
Right. Now, did she write a lot of songs for a lot of people? She wrote some big-ass songs.
Yeah.
She wrote Aretha Franklin songs, the Shirelle songs, James Taylor songs, the Monkey songs, the Drifters. Yeah. She wrote for a shitload of people, but she's also an artist. So save the spot. You know, artist, writer, whatever. Put her in as just Carole King.
Right.
That's it. Carole King.
Yeah.
Put her in. So she deserves to be in, but she's already in. Yeah, so this year, no.
Yeah, and no disrespect to her. It's not her fault.
No, she's great. But she's in. She's fucking in.
Right.
You know, that's when I looked at the list. I was like, how the hell's Carole King not in? I was like, oh, my vote's for Carole King. She's an influence. And then you told me today, you're like, nah, double check that. And you were like, she's in already. Well, if she's in already, why are we wasting a spot?
Right.
Which will bring me to people like, you know, Eric Clapton. And, you know, Eric Clapton, okay, I could see he went in with Cream. I understand it. Okay? He went in as a solo artist. I understand it. After the bands broke up, he had a longevity career as a solo artist. That I get. Yardbirds. When you start putting him in under now he's also in the Yardbirds, and he's in under Derek and the Dominoes. I mean, like,
but wait, I mean, how big were those bands? Because I couldn't tell you. Like, I wasn't.
They were.
I know Layla.
Yeah.
So also I know Layla.
Look, but I'm saying that's what we know. But like, I mean, first of all, I'm gonna say at least it's like in the rock and roll category. But second of all, like, well, I wasn't into that type of stuff, like, really. So I never. Like, I looked at his old man music back in the day. Maybe I should go back and listen to some of them now, the Yardbirds and all that. But what was their popularity? How much did they sell?
Well,
you know? How much did they influence?
But they were huge influence on a lot. Yeah. So,
right.
I mean,
so is it fair for the rest of the band that they're in there? Well, Eric Clapton's there. Fuck, that ruins our chance.
Yeah.
Unless they're huge. I mean, look,
that's
the Yardbirds. Like, I get the Yardbirds, okay? I get Cream. Absolutely get Cream. You had 3 crazy musicians in that band, okay? Do I get Derek and the Dominoes? Are they in it just because Eric Clapton? I know one song.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know Derek and the Dominoes. Like, we don't. I know one song too. So
I know one song.
But were they? How popular were they back then? Like, who?
Not that fucking popular because they didn't last. You still here? We know one fucking song.
That doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean nothing. The Sex Pistols had one album out.
I just think Eric Clapton's he's like a rare case. Like that you're not going to see that ever again.
Well,
unless they put
we do. We're going to get
Foo Fighters.
Paul McCartney.
Yeah, Paul McCartney's another one. Were the Wings that fucking big?
I think they were. I believe they are.
They were.
Or they were nominated. I don't know.
I mean, I could see Paul McCartney's the Beatles. I could see Paul McCartney's a solo artist. Paul McCartney of Wings. Are they just in it because it's fucking Paul McCartney?
I don't know. They probably are.
They are. No, they're in.
Are they?
But how the hell are they? I mean, does he need to be in 3 fucking?
But I think they're a bigger band than you think, and I think they had a lot more hits, sold a lot of freaking albums, man. I never got into the Wings. I only know a few of their songs, but I mean, I think they sold a lot. Like, you got to remember, worldwide.
Yeah, they're big. Yeah,
I think they did a lot.
Well, maybe I'm wrong.
But I don't think they're all just in there on Paul. I mean, they're never Paul McCartney in the Wings.
Oh, they're not in.
They're not in. No.
I take it all back. They're not in.
Yeah.
But I think they should be. No.
Yeah.
Fuck it, the Wings. The chicken wings. All right, so I take that back. Anyway, Paul McCartney, I guess he's in twice. That's all right. All right. Carole King, I'm going to pass because she's already in it. Damo.
Yeah, I think we all pass on her.
Yeah.
Which moves on to I don't know much about this kind of music, but I can't even pronounce the name. I'm going to say Fela Kuti.
That's how I would say. Dude, I don't know.
But when I saw his name come up, I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And you know, I was going on a bunch of different forums, like message boards that I go to all the time. Everybody was saying the same thing, and these are like diehard music fans. Like, we know our shit, I think. Yeah. Even if like Kate Bush, I couldn't tell you a Kate Bush song, but I know who she is.
You know the name.
I've never ever heard of this fucking guy.
Now, granted, we don't listen to that type of instrumentalist where the fuck he came from music, but
you hear names. You hear, you know, it's like, oh, I don't know what he does, but I've heard of him.
Who's that bass player that was a huge influence on Flea and Robert Trejo and all that? Robert Trejo did
Jaco Pastorius.
Yeah. Now, is he in the Hall of Fame?
No, I don't think so.
Well, he should be then, right?
He should be as like a performer. Yeah. as a side man or I don't know. Yeah.
Whatever, studio musician, whatever the deal is. Yeah. But I mean, did they just throw this guy's name out of a hat?
Well, he's supposed to be really influential in something. But now here's a funny thing. I was following the voting, the fan voting, and it's another misconception. The whole fan voting,
right?
That doesn't mean your guy's getting in. That equals one whole ballot vote, one
That's
vote. And there's like over 1,000 votes. So it's basically meaningless. Anyway,
that's a lot less than an electoral college vote.
Yeah.
Listen, if
I
don't be like, the votes were fixed overnight. The votes were fixed.
Well, this is funny, right? Because the first few days I was checking it every day, right? And this guy, he was like dead last. Then one day, he's number one.
Oh, he gave the Biden. He got the Biden treatment.
I don't know, man. I think somebody paid some money somewhere and hooked up some bots to go in. There's no way he's number. I never heard of the fucking guy.
Right.
He's still number one.
He's stealing the election overnight.
Dude, he's still number one. He's number one on.
All right. We can't even pronounce his name. Respect to him. I'm sure he's great, but I don't get it. Did he influence Miles Davis? I mean, Miles Davis is in. Miles Davis is a genius, you know? Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just it's one of those elitists, one of those snobby elitists probably, put him in there. But
yeah, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna put my Fela Kuti records on. Nah.
Dude, he's number one. It's crazy. He's got 188,000 votes.
Wow.
Way more than anybody else.
And they'll have somebody up there accepting for him. And I don't know if they said he died in 97. He might have died of AIDS, but I don't think they ever actually came out and said that was true or not.
Yeah. I did read that.
I read that. I did read a little bit.
I was like, who is this guy?
I seen him with the sax or the horn, wherever the fuck he was playing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Fela. My vote's no. I don't know who he is.
No, never heard of him. He's absolute no.
Mike D. You don't know who he is either.
No.
I'm sure he's a great musician, but there's other guys that need to be in ahead of time. Moving on to the next nominee, LL Cool J. What you got, Damo?
Yeah, like I said in the intro, I mean, I don't think hip hop has a place in there, but I don't think they belong, but they are in there. So I'm not going to, because there's already some in there, I think he should be in there.
Right.
And plus he's a nominee every friggin' year, and I'm sick of seeing his name. So just get him in for that.
A lot.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's not in yet. Mike D, what you got on LL?
Yeah, man, I really like LL. I mean, I was probably one of the few that was listening to him back when he came out with, I Can't Live Without My Radio. So, I mean, I really do have a soft spot for LL Cool J. But I mean, he had some more of like, he was a little more on the hard side, like
sitting at the bus stop looking on a lollipop.
I remember seeing him on the Unplugged, and that was actually pretty good.
The Unplugged was pretty damn good.
I mean,
that was good.
I think LL kind of transcends for some reason, and I would say yes, but not yet. Just not yet.
He's groundbreaking.
Yeah, and he came out a lot, early 80s.
He wasn't too much after
I'm going to say
Run
about
DMC.
84, 85, like right around that.
I think if Run DMC's in, he should be in.
That's what
I'm
going
to say. He was probably like 85, 86.
Yeah,
maybe.
85, yeah.
Yeah, if Run DMC's in, I think he would definitely be next. So, if you're having a rap and all that kind of stuff in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, LL Cool J was a huge influence. I'm going with yes.
Yeah, I get yes, too.
Mike?
Even though you put no.
I changed my mind. Well, Carole King's out now, so now it's yes.
Okay.
I had to change it around.
Yes, but not yet. I'm sticking with my answer, man. Not yet.
How long does LL got to wait?
Well, I mean, let's get the guys who belong in there first.
And listen, speaking of LL, Dane, he also had an album, was probably the earliest time you heard the term GOAT.
Really?
He had an album called The GOAT. I remember he had the jacket that said The GOAT.
Does that change your mind?
Nah, he's in.
No, no, he's out.
He's out. But that's like an ongoing thing with me, Dame, and Dan Williams. And even Dave Pyron, our engineer guy that does the Monte Carlo stuff. It's like we have like an ongoing kind of thing where we throw in little things that we say on the podcast to each other. Dan was making me piss myself. Same thing with Dave. Like Dave would send us a letter and Dave's all dry. Dave would send us a letter or an email and it would have like kind of like little stuff in there from the podcast, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But dude, awesome. He's such a good guy. Both of those guys are great.
Yeah.
Dan Williams Photography. Dan is awesome. And Dave Pyron at wombatstudio.org. Two awesome guys.
The best.
So, yeah, a little shout out to those guys. So, yeah, me and Dan are going for LL. Mike's saying it's too soon. I don't know how too soon could be. It's been a long time.
It's just not. I mean, I want to see who belongs in there first. Get in there. I mean,
well, in the rap industry, he should be in the rap industry.
Absolutely,
he should be high on that list.
Damn, yeah, hell yeah.
He was a groundbreak. Well, if you're gonna have Run DMC in there, if you're gonna have Jay-Z on the ballot, I mean, LL should definitely be in before that. Groundbreaking. Mm-hmm. He was groundbreaking. Who could we name that was out in the late 80s that's still relevant today? LL still
not many, man. Yeah.
I mean, I would even say like Ice-T.
Ice-T's a great actor, not so much a rapper.
Well, I mean, that's where he made that's where he got his chops, you know, and that's where he was kind of.
I always thought Ice-T stuff was okay. I love him as an actor. As far as rapper, he was okay, you know.
But he was able to really sustain his career branching out and do a bunch of different
Ice-T,
things.
absolutely. You know? I thought absolutely. I thought the way he segued into, the rest of the entertainment industry was great. I mean, I love Ice-T.
Me too. I really
music.
like it.
His music, I'm not a huge thing on. His music really don't do nothing. But as far as what he's about, and I met him. I met him once or twice.
Oh yeah,
and super nice guy, man. Super nice, cool as could be, man.
He seems like he would be
really cool, mellow, cool dude, man. So yeah, Ice-T, groundbreaking, But as far as LL should definitely be in. Let's move on to I would say one of Damo's favorite, not so much mine, but they definitely deserve to be in. The New York Dolls.
Yeah, they're definitely one of my favorite bands. I mean, it's an acquired taste. I mean, most people probably will not get them or even like them, but
they were a huge influence.
What they did in like a really like Nirvana, right? Except without minus the hits and any hits, but they had such a huge impact.
Every band in New York wanted to be like the Dolls or be on the coattails of the Dolls. Even
right.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Ramones, Blondie, any band that came from New York, and then they did TV shows in England, and their appearance on this TV show in England, like everybody wanted to be like the New York Dolls, guys in the Sex Pistols, all the
Slade probably and all that stuff.
No. They're like a little bit after those bands.
Really? They were after Slade? I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, they came out like a couple years after all those bands. But their influence on like punk rock, like what was going on in England and in New York. I mean, they're the ones who like brought it there. I mean, they didn't know. I mean, and it wasn't even called punk at that time. It was just like they're just playing like real sloppy, fast, like kind of like Rolling Stones on crack, But yeah, they should definitely be in, And it's a shame that was a guitar player. He just passed away literally like 2 weeks before they announced him as the Hall of Fame. So I kind of feel like maybe it might have been like a little sympathy thing, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
well, even there are other guitar players that huge influence on a lot of people. Johnny Thunder, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he passed away in the 70s, though. Early in the career, right? Or no?
No, well, he was like still in his 30s, but he's passed away in 91. He was the first one to die, which everybody knew he was going to die. He was like knocking on death's door for years, that guy.
Yeah, and what's his name, as we say, also known as Buster Poindexter, David Johansen, who's been around the entertainment industry for 40, 50 years at least.
I would have never thought he would have been in that type of band when I saw him as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, as far as the Dolls concerned go, I thought their look was groundbreaking. I thought everybody kind of wanted to be like the New York Dolls in New York at the time. They were the big dogs. They were the band that everybody tried to get on the bill with, And, do I think their songs were good? They were okay. I thought they're a little overrated songwriting wise, but as far as an influence, a fucking huge influence on a lot of that
Yeah.
80s glam and stuff like that, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember, like, you read the Hit Parade magazine and all those rock magazines back in the day, and a lot of those bands always talked about the New York Dolls.
Yeah, I remember
But
buying...
I never had, like, I never wanted to throw my money in that direction. It was always something else, so I never got around to checking them out.
Yeah.
So I really don't do too much. I only heard a few things, kind of not really my thing. But look, man, on influence, yeah.
Huge influence.
Yeah.
And I haven't listened to their stuff in a long, long time. Maybe I'll go back. Maybe I'll like it now. I don't know. I know songs like Personality Crisis was Jet Boy a song also, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being okay, but I remember getting the record when I was younger and going, it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. But I got to go back, maybe, you know?
Yeah, and I did the same thing. I bought it. I bought it because Kiss would talk about them in interviews, and I wanted to hear this band. I remember I bought the tape, and I was really disappointed because it wasn't
what you thought it was
what I expected at all. No,
yeah,
because it's like the recording, they like kind of like shitty sounding records they made. They didn't really make good sounding records, but it really grew on me. It's seeing like live footage and stuff, and there's songs I like. They didn't sound good, but they were well written songs.
Right.
They could have been good.
I mean, like, you don't have to be a great musician to write a good or great song. I mean, if somebody, there's like a couple albums of possible hit songs. Like if somebody came and like redid the songs, like, played them really well and stuff like that.
That came in and really
I think they could have been. Yeah,
they got Bob Ezrin or something like that. Bob Ezrin. Yeah, but I mean, still groundbreaking for me. The Dolls, influential wise, absolutely should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Damo.
Yeah, for me.
Mike D.
Yep.
All right, moving on to one of my favorites.
This is like the Foo Fighters for
Madon. We're gonna start off with Damo. Rage Against the Machine, Damo.
I kind of like them. I mean, I don't listen to the music, but I don't know, man. The past few years, I didn't like them back then, but like I really started to like Tom Morello. I think as like a music historian, like he really knows his shit. I don't care about any of the political stuff. Well, that it has nothing to do. Like I hate that stuff anyway.
Right.
But going back and listen to what they did, they kind of like really did kind of like start that. And we talked about this before. Like, remember what like that funk metal thing in the early '90s that was supposed to be like the big thing?
Yeah, they elevated that definitely.
Yeah, they did kind of like do some of that, and they threw like rap in and stuff.
They elevated that genre. Yeah. What do you got, Mike D?
I mean, they did elevate that genre. And look, that first album came out. I remember I saw it in Columbia House. They were kind of pushing them in there. And I'm like, that sounds pretty good. Let me give this a shot. And it kind of blew my mind when I first heard it. I was probably about 18, 19 when it came out. What was it about? What year was that? That first album?
92?
92.
92. So
92, 93 maybe?
I think it got bigger. Yeah, they had 4 albums out. But yeah, I mean, I remember loving that first album. Like a lot.
Well, it was different. It was groundbreaking.
By the time the second album came out, it was the same as the first one. And then my interest kind of weaned off of them.
Right.
I mean, they did sell a lot of albums, and I guess they're in it. I wouldn't call them the full influence on like that rap rock genre. I mean, I know
I wouldn't say influence. I think they elevated it.
Right. I mean, because you had bands like Faith No More, which was like another big one. Even that they weren't even a rappy band. They were kind of just 1 or 2 songs.
They got bundled into that a little bit.
They got bundled into that, and a lot of that rap rock genre were Faith No More fans, including Korn. Were huge Faith No More fans.
Right.
But I don't even know how Korn got into that rap genre either.
Yeah, and they're really not.
Maybe early on, but they were their own thing. But I don't know. I mean, to me, it's like Rage Against the Machine kind of did 4 albums that sounded the same.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Not my cup of tea. But they were a huge influence, and they definitely elevated that sound. I think Morello is well respected and well liked, and I think it's one of the reasons why they're on the ballot. Do I think they should be in yet? No, too soon. I think too soon. All right, moving on to the next one. Todd Rugran. What do you got, Damo?
I don't got to say.
You did say.
No, I said two.
I
didn't say. Yeah,
I didn't say
I never
either.
gave a final verdict.
All right, we're going back. I say too soon for Rage. Damo.
I say yes, but like you, too soon. So this year, no.
Mike D.
I'm going to make it 100% agreement amongst us. Yeah.
Eventually, but not yet.
Right.
I'll even agree with that. I mean,
So-
listen, they as much as it's not my thing, they're respected enough that eventually, just a little too soon. All right, moving on to Todd Rugran. What do you got there, Damo?
Well, he actually produced a lot of bands, like a lot of stuff. Actually, that New York Dolls, their first record, he was the producer of that. So
It's been around for a long time.
So he's got like a really long career, like producing and and being like a performer. A lot of people say he's another one like Kate Bush. I don't really know too much about him. I just know he's a big producer and performer. A lot of people cite him as an influence.
I think he did like a lot of avant-garde type of stuff. I believe too.
Yeah.
What was his big song? Was he the bang on the drum?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I don't even know that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
And
want to work. Just bang
and
on
I
the
think
drum all
he's,
day. No,
I think he's from the area too.
I
he's
believe
from-
so.
Is he?
He's from the
Yeah.
Philly area. I mean, I can't say yeah or no. It's a question mark,
Yeah. How about you, Mike?
but going from what other people say about him,
It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's like one of those beloved behind the scenes guys.
Yeah.
I remember there was an episode, I believe, of Beavis and Butthead, and they were like watching one of his videos, and Beavis is all excited about Todd Rundgren, and Butthead's like, Todd Rundgren, I don't know who he is, and you shouldn't know who he is either. It's something to that matter, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. He's earned his stripes.
Yeah.
But I think there's other people that should go in before. So I'm going to slightly pass on Todd Rugran. How about you, Damo?
Yeah, it's just a question mark. Like I don't know enough to have an opinion.
Right. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, same here. I don't know enough, but I'm going this year. I would say pass, and he should have got somebody. They should have got some of these other guys in there. Judas Priest could have been back on.
I mean, if
could
you
have
can
been
only
on there.
pick
So-
5, it's rough. It gets rough.
But right, I mean, let's get back to the rock and roll. Let's put more rock and roll.
How about Private Dancer? Moving on to Tina Turner. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah. Now she's one where it wasn't a head scratcher. Like
Nah,
she does.
she
She
has-
does. Yeah, she does have like some like rock to her. Like a rock edge.
Yeah,
She's an icon.
She's an icon. Yeah.
She's an icon.
How is she? I don't even think she's ever been nominated. This might be the first time.
That's crazy.
I could be wrong about that, but
yeah. How is she not? How is she not in?
well, she is in with
Like in Tina Turner, maybe?
yeah, she is in for
But
that.
she did have a longevity career.
I mean,
on
she's
her own.
still being
She
there.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, around the early 80s, man, she was
Yeah.
all
she had
over everything.
Yeah, huge resurgence. I know.
Huge, man. So, yeah, Tina Turner, there's no denying it, man. There's definitely no
She even did a
denying
couple movies, I think.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Mad Max or something. Beyond
Yeah,
something
She
though.
did. I know she did the video for it. Yeah. I forget.
I
what
think
the
she
song
was in the movie. At least my mind thinks she was in the movie. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I remember the video. She was in the video. She was
video.
dressed like the movie.
Right.
That's maybe that's yeah. Maybe that's
I wanna
what we're
say-
thinking of.
What do I want to say? I need a hero, but I don't think that was her. Was that
that
her?
is that yeah.
I
That's her.
need a hero.
Yeah, I think that was her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so she's an icon. I'm going to say absolutely, no doubt, Tina Turner should be in by herself. Damo.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just for those legs alone, yeah.
She still looks good too for her age, man.
Yeah.
She still looks good.
She looks the same for like the past like 40 years. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy, man. What about you,
Yeah.
Mike D? What do you think about Tina? She should be in?
Absolutely. And if she doesn't get in this, I mean, it's too. I'm going to say she should have been in already.
Yeah, she should have been in 20 years
Yeah.
ago.
This is just overdue.
Absolutely. Moving on to our last nominee, Dionne Warwick. What do you got, Damo?
I don't know, man. Who's next? Miss Cleo? They're letting all the psychic I mean, most people know her from that. The Psychic Friends Network.
Jackie
Is,
Stallone.
Jackie Stallone coming in
Jackie
next
Stallone.
year.
Man.
She's a It's like Kiss 101 FM or something. You know, it's like that kind of rock. It's like Dennis music. It's.
I mean, dude, she's been around since '63, and she still put out something in 2019, like a Christmas album or something.
No fucking way. No, Dionne Warwick. Who got that idea? I'm telling you, because they put Whitney Houston in. They're going to put her.
Yeah.
So, what? They put Dionne Warwick in? You know what's going to be next? Yeah, Barry Manilow, Bette Midler. Barbara Streisand. Come on, man. No.
Yeah. It really skews the rock and roll part of it, you know. I mean, like somebody like Tina Turner, even though she did the R&B, she still had that, you know,
she has an edge.
Well, they called it rock and roll, even when she was dealing with Ike and Tina Turner. It was rock and everything was rock and roll, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, Mike D, Dionne Warwick, what do you got?
No. I mean, I don't run that genre of music though, but it's like, I don't know. It's just you're straying too far from rock. I mean, rap's closer to rock than that. So no, it's a definite no.
Right. I'm gonna pass on Dionne Warwick too. So all three of us say, not this year, Dionne.
Yeah, I'm looking in the crystal ball. No.
Maybe she knows.
Yeah,
she knows.
Maybe. Let's.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a 50-50 shot, Dionne. Pick one. Do you know?
All right. So we're going to start with Damo here. You get 5 people to put in this Damo. Who are you putting in?
Okay. Are we doing who I think is going in, or we're just going to go around?
Let's go first. Let's go with who do you think should be in? If it was Dame has 5 picks, who would you put in?
My 5, I got Iron Maiden, the Go-Go's, New York Dolls, LL Cool J, and Devo.
Wow.
That's my 5.
Wow. Mike D.
So you're going off of just this year?
Just this year.
This year, yeah.
I have Iron Maiden and Tina Turner.
You pick 2.
Yes.
Okay. All right. For me, I want to say the Go-Go's, Iron Maiden, Carol King's out now, so we're going to replace her with LL Cool J, New York Dolls, and Tina Turner. They're my 5.
Okay, I'll say the New York Dolls. That's just the 3. I'm going with those 3. There's nothing else for me that should go in.
Let's twist it around now. Who do you think are going to be the 5 that will get in? That they're going to actually put in. We'll start with you, Damo.
Okay. It's I think Iron Maiden is going to get in.
Do you
really? I really do, yeah.
I'd be surprised. Wow.
And my thinking is this: is like they had Priest in as nominees a couple times. They've had Motorhead on there. They've had Thin Lizzy up there. I think this is the year they throw Metal a bone, and Iron Maiden gets in. And I think at this point there's enough metal hard rock bands in that will probably vote for Maiden, and some people might even who aren't familiar with them that are voters might know the name and say, oh, they're not in. So I kind of feel like they're going to be in. I think the Go-Go's are going to get in. I think Tina Turner is going to get in. And the 2 who I think it's way too soon, Foo Fighters and Rage Against the Machine, are probably going to get in.
Wow. How about you, Mike?
How many do get in now?
5. I think. Yep.
5, right. So I'm going to say it's probably going to be Rage Against the Machine, Tina Turner. You're going to see Dionne Warwick. You're going to see what's that? Rudy Fatuti over there?
Yeah, that guy. Fela Kuti.
Yeah, Fela Kuti. And that's who's the last one now we got. And probably, did I say Rage Against the Machine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did I say Foo Fighters?
No.
It's going to be the Foo Fighters.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, for me, who I think they will put in is Kate Bush. I think she's going in. I think Carole King's going to go in. I think Jay-Z's going to go in. I think Tina Turner's going in. And because all the political craziness in this world today, Rage is going in.
Yeah, that's a pretty shitty year.
It's funny though.
We have to do a follow-up show and see who actually picked the 5 that went in.
Yeah.
Who gets the most points?
Where's Tool? Where is Tool?
They should probably be in. You know,
they should have been at least up at this point.
They're eligible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 25 years.
Oh
They're
yeah,
definitely eligible.
I don't know. Are they that weird niche though? You know?
No, they're not, dude. They transcend, man. A lot of people listen to Tool. Like a lot of different people that don't listen to the rock genre listen to Tool. So
yeah, I'm not really a fan of them, but I think they'll probably show up on the ballot on the nominee like next year. So, I mean, I would not be surprised at all.
All right. Well, that moving on. Okay. With that moving on, speaking of, you mentioned Tool, Dane, give me like 5 or 6 names that you think should be in that aren't in.
Ozzy solo, I think, should be in because I think people in our age bracket, we didn't grow up with Black Sabbath.
Right.
We grew up with Ozzy, and I think we discovered Black Sabbath
through Ozzy
backwards.
Absolutely.
Like I didn't know anything about Black Sabbath, and then it was always Ozzy, and all the songs are on MTV, and then you go backwards. So definitely him. You guys might laugh at this, but I got the Monkees. I think the Monkees should be in.
My wife said that. Yeah, she
said because they didn't write their songs, but Dionne Warwick didn't write her songs. Whitney Houston didn't write. I could go on and on. Madonna didn't write her song. I mean, and two didn't grow up on that show.
Right,
wanted to be in a band or something, So
they're still around. Their music's still around.
They're great songs. I mean, Duran.
Oh, that's a good.
They're
one.
Not. Wow,
that's a good one. That wasn't on my list. That's a good one.
I think they were only nominated once. Maybe.
Yeah. And they were the biggest, dude. They were the biggest thing in the early 80s.
Huge, man. And how many guys like us that don't even listen to that music love that?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And they were huge. Yeah. I mean, them, Judas Priests, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pat Benatar.
Yeah. How's she not in?
Yeah. I actually thought she was going to show up this year, but she didn't. And number 6. And I don't really know much about them, but I know they're really influential, is King Crimson. Like a huge prog band,
Yeah, I mean, absolutely they should be in.
Yeah. How about you, Mike? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I would say definitely, like I already said, Tool should be in. I mean, if you want to get into like the more artist bands and stuff like that, I mean, how about throw Kenzak's bone a little bit, throw them up there. I mean, I don't see any artist would have a problem with that. They're highly influential.
What band was it?
King's X.
Oh, King's X. I don't know if they're big. I don't know if they're big enough as in general, though. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they're going for the New York Dolls, I mean, which are an influential band, but
yeah, that's different. I mean, that was a huge King's X. As much as I like King's X,
if they're going for
their impact wasn't like the New York Dolls.
I mean, so I can make a plea for them. Who else? How about Anthrax?
I would love to see Anthrax.
Yeah, I mean,
I would. Wow, I'd be okay with that one. I didn't even think of that one.
If any of the other big 4 bands, I mean, Metallica's already in. I think Anthrax would probably make more sense out of the other 3, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll even go as far as let's throw some Bad Brains in there. Let's give them a bone. At least a nomination.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they
did they ever show up? Maybe
on the ballot.
I don't know. They might have been on that one year. Maybe.
Wow. Yeah,
I don't think. What about Tull, man? What about Jethro Tull?
Jethro Tull's not in. I can't believe that actually. And that was a band I grew to like after. Like I didn't realize how good they were till way after.
They caught a bad rap when they beat Metallica.
The Metallica thing, yeah, that was bad.
But look, man, Jethro Tull freaking rocks, and they've been around forever, and I mean they still sound good.
I'm surprised they're not in.
So I mean, yeah, that's. And I say you put them into, man, those guys are getting old. Let them enjoy their moment, man. Get them in there.
Yeah.
Bad Brains were nominated in 2016.
Were they really nominated? Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, moving on to my complaints are the ones that aren't in. I'm going to go with Motley Crue. How's Motley Crue not in? I mean, come on. I mean, it took forever for Bon Jovi to get in, which was ridiculous, I thought. They should have been way earlier.
There's not that many bands from that glam time that really got in.
Yeah, but Motley Crue survived. Motley Crue survived.
Right, I agree. Absolutely.
I mean, you guys know how much I love that stuff. That's like my bread and butter, I think. But just to be honest, like you got Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, Motley Crue, probably, yeah. But
Def Leppard's in, right? Def Leppard's in.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
Yeah.
After those three, man, I don't really see any other bands from that era ever getting in.
Well, Motley should go in.
I think they should. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Motley goes in, which moves on to Motorhead. How the frig ain't Motorhead in there?
Jeez.
Come
on, they were a huge influence on all the heavy music.
Crossover. I mean, but like punk fans like them, and but.
You still see people rocking like not just a few people rocking Motorhead.
Motorhead's still big, man.
You see a lot of Motorhead shirts out there, a lot.
Yep.
When you see crowds, I know we forget what these things are these days.
Yeah.
But when you look at crowds, you see Motorhead shirts.
Absolutely. Huge influence, man. Ozzy solo, I agree with Dame. Absolutely. Ozzy had a long career after Sabbath, a long, successful career.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an icon. I'd say Ozzy's an icon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Judas Priest. Absolutely. Definitely. Maiden. I would love to see Maiden go in this year. That's another one.
Let's see. Let's hope.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
We're all pushing for Maiden. And the last one on my list, and I guess some people might scratch their head, but they were a huge influence on punk. The Misfits. If the Ramones are in, how can the Misfits be in?
No, I agree. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's
going
to take a while.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on. What punk band sells out Madison Square Garden?
I know. I was there.
Come on, yeah, see? I mean, if you tell me, Danzig's not going on for the band Danzig, okay, I kind of get it.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
easy.
can't tell me the Misfits, groundbreaking. Them T-shirts will be worn when we're gone. If the Ramones are in, why can't the Misfits be in?
Yeah, they're like neck and
the
neck.
Sex Pistols. If you told me what were the three biggest groundbreaking punk bands, for me, and I don't know a lot of the other underground stuff, but for me, it would be the names that I know are the Sex Pistols, the Misfits, and the Ramones.
Yeah, most people would say that.
And I'm sure there's a ton of other ones that I'm not mentioning that I don't know about. They're deeper, in the cut. But they're the three that if you asked any jabroni, as you would say, Damo, they would tell you, name three big punk bands, from like the 70s to the 80s. And they're the three that I think would get mentioned,
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's crazy, man. So we'll do a follow-up show on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame once they announce who's going in.
I think we're going to be pissed off.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I think we're going to be pissed off.
Up the irons. We're all voting for Iron Maiden here. So it's another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. We'll see you guys next week.